Hello everyone, Kentu Tiger here with Bengali Engineering and Play. We are back in Space Engineers, kind of continuing on the side slant of the Survival Series 2. This is the, I think, finished multi-task capable fighter. So actually got quite a bit of capability here. Um, we have a lot of the Mark 1 batteries. That's an 88 millimeter from Mexpex, something like that. Um, Pretty good stuff. We have quad Gatling guns up here at the top. So just as a secondary armament, and then we have a Gatling turret, which is the whole idea behind that is anti-missile defense. So um, pretty much got everything I could think of here as far as controls. We have the board here that tells what the ammo stores are like. We have the power board here. We have the BRS, the build and repair system board. There's actually four of those. So there's one up in the front here, so you can see what BRS is doing. There's also one underneath, so you can see what's going on there. We have cameras in all directions. In fact, we have two cameras facing down. There's one that's here that is center line of the connector. That way you can actually aim in and do really well at figuring out what your connectors are. Um, the other camera, down facing camera, is here. That way you can actually aim and get this thing hooked on to whatever thing you're playing with. Up here is a small armored conveyor, or sorry, a small armored connector here, so you can actually have access to parts and pieces forward. Oh, excuse me. Anyway, Mark 1 batteries forward. The camera forward so you can zoom right in. The speed matching camera, I have not tried this yet because there's nothing in this world. This is a nobody here but me kind of a world. So anyway, I brought this guy in, and I wanted to test. So this is the ooh. That's a lot of damage. So these are heavy armor blocks. You can see how deep some of this goes. Um, so I was actually a little disappointed from the perspective of the damage of the Mark 1 batteries. I was expecting quite a bit more. These will rip apart a small ship, and I'm not entirely sure why it's not doing. I was expecting that heavy armor was not that heavy. So let's jump in here. Now normally this is the pirate, the pilot's chair. So my normal controls that I have set up here is turning Bob on and off. Sorry, not Bob, BRS on and off. We have the speed matching. So this is the underside. So this is actually the speed match camera. So anything within this view, and then you hit number 2, and it should speed match. And again, I haven't tested that, so don't know. So Having said that, number 3 is our mains on and off, so we have maneuvering thrusters built in here. 4 is the landing gear, lock it or unlock. BRS system is 5. Excuse me again. Turning that on and off. The number 6 is, in this case, the downward facing camera that is embedded into the connector there on the bottom. And then so the connector there, swap lock, and then the connector on and off is number 8. Number 9 is the antenna on and off. I like to turn or at least like to be able to turn the antenna off in case you're, trying to go for stealth mode or whatever. I tend to put those kinds of things onto the toolbar somewhere. Oh, sorry, I'm dying here. Number 2 is our ammo, basically. So number 9 in this case is our view. The nice thing about the cameras is mouse wheel to zoom in and zoom out on that, so we can zoom in. I was hoping that would be a little more something, and it's not. Now I have the wings turned off at this point. Okay, so that was the second hit. So it's about 7 seconds or 8 seconds. So in this case, I've got 3 tiers, if you will, up front. So the Group A, B, and C. So there's 16 of the Mark 1 batteries up front. You can kind of see the pattern right here on the screen. So it's 5 on top, 6 in the middle, and 5 more on the bottom, which is A, B, and C respectively. So in this case, that's 3, 4, and 5 to turn on or off. So that's A, B, and C. And then in this case, 7 and 8 are the port and starboard wings respectively, to turn those on and off. So I was hoping for a bit more damage, so not happening quite as I expected it would. So shifting over to the Gatling guns, there's only 2 of them, but these actually do quite a bit of damage. So obviously if you can really shoot, we'll just leave those focused right where they are, and we will end up going through to the other side, which is my intention here. Into the blue again. Got the beads disappearing. So let's have a look. Exit the camera and then go down here and see exactly what kind of damage here. So multi-layers, obviously. can see we have actually come all the way through to the other side, so definitely a big hole there. So this this target is 10 by 10, I think. 15 by 15 maybe it is. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So 20 by 20 in all directions, all heavy armor, different colors so you can tell how deep it is. And then in the center is a reactor, an antenna. I'm not sure what else. Yeah, not sure what else is on the corner there. So again, the demonstration here of how effective this is. So against heavy armor, not as effective as I was hoping it would be. 7 and 8 to get everything there. So the interesting thing about staggering about 8 seconds, 7 to 8 seconds reload time, which is quite a bit, all things considered. But again, the damage that these tend to do to small items, and let me go ahead and find something that we can goof around with, and preferably blow the snot out of it. Trying to find something small here that is base. Have a light transport here. I don't know if that is but we'll try it. Paste. Alright, so let's over here, Scarab light transport, looks like a small ship design here. Yep. You know what? I'm going to I don't know if this has any fuel. Looks like it does. So, and just pick a random direction here. The dampeners are off. Alright, so that's going 15 meters per second there. And the reason I did that is I do want to try out my the speed match. So then I need to find it. I think that's it. Maybe not. Maybe it's an asteroid. It's an asteroid. Alright, so I know where this guy is. Let us find next. Teleport here. I don't know if that has an antenna or not. Okay, is there an antenna 1? I don't know how long that will last, but all right. Antenna. So this thing does not slow down nearly as well as I was expecting. Gets up to speed really well. So we're going to shift over to the camera and then apparently not doing anything here. Wow, okay, it does work. Alright, so all the weapons are lined up. Wow, that took a heck of a hit. Wow. So the speed matching thing really does work. So that's cool. I don't know how far away from it I am, so we're going to catch up, and then it slows me down to speed match, which is really cool. So you can speed up, but it goes right back to that base. So I want to kind of see the damage that was done here. Wow, look at that. So effectively took the nose off the ship. One hit with all the Mark 1 batteries here. So here's a centerline shot, which split it in half. So the moral of the story here is that while the Mark 1 batteries really don't appear to be effective against large targets, they really are extremely effective at so the question about the speed match is how to turn it off. So that's something I'm going to have to research. So let me do that. I'm hoping. Let me put the game on pause. Because I have no idea how to So speed matcher. So, program block, argument, clear, run. So we know speed match works, so that's really neat. So T. Now, what I really need to do. All right, so I need to change my groups, which is kind of unfortunate. So thrusters main is going to go to number 4. And we do all blocks, and so this is actually run with the command clear. So really neat, but I just had to figure out how to make it work. So now we discovered. So one of the things we see is the differential between the Mark 1 batteries versus large heavy blocks versus small any kind of blocks. So hell of a lot of firepower there, much more effective on small than large. But the Gatling turrets being what they are, they're definitely, they pack quite a punch when it comes even to the large. So that's kind of neat stuff. One of the other things, obviously the speed matching was about the targeting, and if you look down here in the bottom right hand corner is the WMI, so whips speed matcher, and you can actually see everything on that status display as it's happening. Obviously I was looking through the camera, so I couldn't see what this was doing, but you know, kind of neat to watch everything on the HUD. So matching right now is disabled, but obviously push the button and everything's good. All right, so a couple things that changed here. So let me go ahead and exit out of here so here's another speed matcher here. Maybe not an appropriate window for that one. 4 is the Gatling turret, which I did turn off. Alright, so jump out for just a second here. I'm going to go ahead and get into this one. Number one, this guy, of course, is gunnery. So the question here is, do I want to change speed matching for the gunnery chair here? And I think I do. So this one happens to be the lower speed match camera. So the speed match camera, we're going to go ahead and put there. The program block here is match, which will tell it to it uses the camera to find a target, and then calculate it out. And this is a run with a clear, which will clear save target information as well as shut it down. Alright, so we basically have control of the armaments here, and then we can speed match. So the good news is here is that the gunnery operator can line up on the target, speed match. The downside is that the pilot is in control of the vessel, so kind of one of those interesting quandaries there. So speed match here may not be so front. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is actually put the control here, so that way he can actually shoot. So all the jump drives, the capability of docking is all on this screen for turning on or off the build and repair system and turning on or off the projector. So I think we're pretty much set up. So we'll be on number one toolbar, and let's go to the number one toolbar. Alright, so this pull this out. We'll do a C, which will copy everything that we have here. We will go ahead and do the saber-tooth fighter, replace with clipboard, and then we will zoom back in, and what I'm going to do is load the projector. So the projector, turn it on, take the blueprint and the saber-tooth fighter, because it's been updated, do an OK, and a K, which will, oh, did not want to do that. Go down here to projector and toggle off. So this has the newest, latest, greatest of the fighter in the projector. We'll do an escape. We're going to upload, do a replace again. This sounds a little recursive. So I want the latest and greatest in the projector. And then I updated the projector, so I want the latest and greatest into my blueprints. So seems a little weird, but I think this is the latest and the greatest. So one a half dozen the other, I guess. All right, so one of the things that I discovered, so we have, definitely don't want to get into that. We have these 4 Gatling cannons, and they are very effective against the larger targets. The main batteries that we have here, which are these Mark 1 batteries, not so effective against large targets, but as you could see, extremely effective against small targets. So I guess that's really kind of it for this episode. I really just wanted to get the test of the fighter here. Obviously, we can see some influences on the overall design here. This great big huge long front end sticking out, influenced by what I've seen on other videos, and I like the idea. It takes a lot of damage, and yet you still survive. You're still mobile. So our biggest issue here is how do we slow down quickly enough. So that's the challenge here with these 2 big thrusters, not slowing down nearly as much as I was expecting that we would. I was really hoping it would handle very, very well. Now, granted, it's heavy. In fact, if we go in here, and it has a lot of materials in it. So this is a small ship, now keep in mind, and this is over 2 million kilograms. So it's heavy, all kinds of heavy, but does fairly well. Now, one of the reasons it's heavy is that it's armed to the teeth. It has, I think, about 50 or 60,000 rounds of the 88 millimeter. It has a lot. It's almost full. You can see here, 3,000 years of power. So definitely got a lot. It's got a lot of ice. So this thing is really well loaded, which is good and bad. It's heavy because it has so much loaded into it. So all those kinds of things that you have to consider when you're building something. So effective, but still has its little issues. So on that note, this is Kenty Tiger signing off. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.